guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. So again, it's your boy Cobe Rise.
Coming for you, coming for you, coming for you, coming for you.
Oh Lord, do not forget the gorillas. Everyone know we the realest, a bunch of go-getters. I bet you can tell I'm the illest. You don't need your fingers to feel it. You know I can straight spit, knock you out with a late hit. Feel like I'm the one like I'm Neo, but this is the real life, not the Matrix. I'm about to go ape shit, huh?
Bad, you dig? Shout out to the IG family in the building. Shout out to the Facebook family in the building. Shout out to my YouTube family in the building. You dig? We have a lot to talk about right now. Yeah, we're gonna let that music play out real quick. Come on. Come on. That sunshine so bright today. Oh yeah. I know y'all ain't seen my face in a minute, so you know we gotta rock out. Yeah, man, how y'all feeling? Yeah, let that beat bit. Come on. Woo! Alright. Then we had to get everything started real quick, man. What's going on, man? It's your boy Cobe Rise and Rise. You dig? We back at it again with a banger. Shout out to Queen City Organics, Rise and Rise Academy. What's going on, my man? Ernest tapping in. Salute my soldier, my brother. How is everything going for you, my boy? You know, everything is everything right now, man. We about to kick it off right. So, the CMOS is live and direct. Hit me in the DMs for your jar. I'm selling them out and they are going quick. I just dropped another batch and we got them coming strong. This one is going to be a lot sweeter this time, you dig? So this way, everybody get their fruits of their labor, they get their benefits, and they have a great taste to it. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to True Eye Clarity, man. Listen, you can see the hat looking extra good. You feel me? Check the hat, the stilo looking good. True Eye Clarity. Y'all see it, man. TrueEyeClarity.com. Go get your hats. What's going on with it, D? It's been a minute, bro. What's going on? Man, these hats is hard, man. TrueEyeClarity.com. Go get your fits, man. This is the brand. It's how you want to live your life. True High with Clarity. As you see, I got my hat on, man. I got that stuff on today. And we doing big promotions going on. You dig? Shout out to TrueEyeClarity.com. If you are wanting your fits, if you want your clothes, if you want your hats, you dig. The glasses looking good too, man. Listen, you definitely want to get your fits from TrueEyeClarity.com. It's a real thing. You dig. So I wanted to get you guys' attention because, man, the main thing we want to cover tonight, man, we're talking about Trump and we're talking about Kamala Harris. You dig. You dig. I'm not going to sit there and say who I'm voting for, but it's a big thing. So the Democratic convention went down last night. I'm not sure if y'all paid attention to it. So if y'all didn't know, the DMC went down last night where they had the meeting in Chicago, yesterday. And, there was some key points that I took from it. And I took some notes because, they went over a lot of like political jargon and all that. And y'all, chime in and let me know your thoughts. If y'all saw it last night, let me know if you saw it last night. And tell me what you think about it. But I'm gonna just give a quick breakdown, and you're more than welcome, like I said, join in and fill me in on some things that I may have missed, because I think we need to be more aware about like the candidates, number one, and number two, the benefits and the policies that they are implementing into the United States of America. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to that, but I don't think we talk about it enough, if I'm being straight clear. A lot of people, they just vote for who cool and who's not. And, I want to take a different approach because I want to vote for who's going to be the best benefit for the community. I want to vote for the one that's going to be the best benefit for the United States of America. And what I mean by that is not necessarily the person that is so cool, but the one that's actually going to have the best policies for us long term. Some of the things that we don't necessarily talk about on the forefront, but just some of the stuff that's written in that small fine print that we may not necessarily pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's going to affect us overall. So just it was a couple of key points that I took, because there's two different types of healthcare and the policies. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into that, man, I got a couple of things I wanted to have some fun with. All right. So what I wanted to start off with is talking about weight loss, right? And we're talking about weight loss and muscle building. So muscle building specifically for the ladies. Now, you know me, if y'all been watching me, y'all know I talk about getting to the weights early as a woman, getting to the weights early as a man, so that way you can solidify your muscle growth and get your body used to the weight and the stress, so that way you can live stronger. But at the same time, this is going to increase your longevity. So there is a lady that actually talked about this on Instagram, right? And so what she talked about was weight loss. And I want you to hear from her, because it's another woman that's speaking about gaining muscle, and her name is Vonda Wright, and she explains why the body composition, specifically when it comes to percentage of fat and muscle growth. What's going on, Sherelle? And it's actually you chimed in at the right time, because we're talking about caloric restriction, but we're also talking about muscle building specifically for men. And well, this one is specifically for women, but it's important for men too. We focus on weight loss and follow like the low calorie deficit diets, and 25 to 50% of the weight loss really is due to muscle loss and not necessarily fat loss, because y'all focusing on the weight going down. And what happens is the way that they work out, they end up losing muscle and weight. Muscle and fat. But you want to drop the fat, but increase the muscle. And this is why strength training is so important. You dig what I'm saying? So this is just something that she actually brought up that I thought was very interesting. So I'm going to just pull it up real quick so you guys can see it on your side. You dig? So let me pull it up real fast, and that way y'all can see what's going on. You dig what I'm saying? So let me share my screen. And y'all on IG, y'all have to switch over to YouTube so you can see it specifically. You dig? So let me tap that in real fast so y'all can see what's going on. Boom. All right, here it is. Let me know if y'all can hear it on IG and YouTube. Let me know if y'all can hear it. Put a thumbs up in the chat if y'all can hear it. All right, let's go.
Is nature Spanx. You may weigh more, but you're tighter and everything fits and looks better. So it's not weight, it's composition. So what happens when we just focus on losing weight and our primary method is calorie restriction? It is clear from many papers that if we just calorie restrict with nothing else, we will lose 25 to 50% of our weight as muscle. And then that makes us metabolically less healthy, because muscle is a glucose sink. When we feed ourselves and there's sugar circulating, it is taken up by our muscle. And then when we come off our crazy calorie restricted diet, the weight we gain back is 80% fat. So if we're troubled with yo-yo diets, which so many people struggle with, they'll lose weight, they'll gain weight, they'll lose weight. It becomes this circle as we're continuously losing more muscle. For men and women, I want them to think of recomposing. How, as I'm losing fat percentage, can I gain muscle? Muscle.
All right, so she just posed it right there. How can I lose the fat percentage at the same time gaining muscle? And actually, there was a comment that is under her video that says some of the best athletes in the world, no other than bodybuilders, because we can lose lots of fat while building muscle mass, period. So I'm gonna give you an example, right? I speak a lot about track. So track and field specifically is what I'm talking about, because I've always been told that track does the body good. And I say that for a reason, because you have all different body types in track. And the reason why is because you actually have to work for whatever it is that you're going for your event. All right. So if you're a sprinter, you're going to have to increase your muscle. And you have to go at a fast speed, which means you'll be dropping a nice chunk of fat percentage. Look at a lot of the sprinters, and they have a much lower body fat percentage, but they also have a nice balance of muscle building if you guys follow the sprinting tactics. If you also look at the long distance runners, they may be on the more slender side. Maybe they have muscle, but it may not necessarily be as big as the sprinters, but they also have low body percentage, low fat percentage, and a little bit low muscle percentage because they are thinner, so they can run a longer they can run at a longer rate for stamina. You can also look at the discus throwers, the shot put throwers. They're not that slender. They're more on the bigger side. They're more like a power lifter look. All right. And the reason for it is because you want to lift and you want to be able to push further. And in order for you to do that, the more that you weigh and the more you can move your body, the further you can throw the discus, the further you can throw your shot put. All right. And so, long story short, I'm saying all that to say this. The key to do that is to understand how to lift to increase your muscle, but at the same time, you need to be able to lift in a bodybuilding rep range with athletic movements. Athletic movements. These are full body workouts. Full body workouts. You need to be able to burn your fat because you have to lift in a cardio-based capacity. These are some of the things that I talk about specifically with people that I work with closely, and they get to their goals every single time. It never fails. And so for her to say that, it also brings up the fact that since this is a real thing, this is what needs to happen in America, period. Because in America, a lot of us are overweight, period. So one thing that I speak a lot about is your diets, what you eat. I think we eat too much in this country. I think that we overindulge in this country, right? To the point where I don't necessarily think we care, but what I'm saying is I don't think we're also knowledgeable of what's going on. I don't know if you guys know, but there has been a video that's been going around about people who have been eating deli meat and have been leaving or transitioning to another world due to the fact that they're eating deli meat. And there's a bacteria out there that is called Listeria. Now, it sounds like bacteria, but it's actually called Listeria. But the fact is, it actually is a bacteria. It's a bacteria, almost like a parasite in mammals. And it has been going around because there have been this type of bacteria in deli meat specifically. And I'm going to play a video just so you guys can see what's going on in these streets because it's actually a real thing. Give me a second and let me actually show the video so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me know if you guys can hear it in the comment section. Let's go.
Be careful going to Publix, Aldi's, and Walmart.
Let me know if y'all can hear it.
2 people got unalive and 34 people got infected with Listeria. I think I said that shit right. And they said this shit is linked to deli meat. And it's not just in one state. They said multiple people got sick across a dozen states, with all but 1 being hospitalized and 2 being unalive. 1 in Illinois and the other is in New Jersey. Now, this shit got me worried because, you know, I'm in Illinois and I be going to Walmart to get my food.
Come on.
So this shit got me worried a little bit, man. Motherfuckers do be saying, oh, yeah, you shouldn't be getting your food from Walmart. But I'm like, they be giving you the best deals and that shit low-key be hitting. That shit be tasting good as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you. Better be careful going to Publix, Aldi's, and Walmarts. 2 people got unalive and
see, now I'm glad that he said this. I'm so glad he said this because he said, I love going to Walmart because their prices are hard to beat. And I'm going to eat that food that they cooking at Walmart. And they laughing at them doing what they do. But listen, this is exactly what this tells me. People are going to eat what they can afford. A lot of people may not necessarily be able to afford certain foods. So they'll say, look, I'm going to do the best I can with the money I got. So the money that they have, if it's not enough, they're going to go out to these different places I'm not going to say all these is bad. I'm not going to say it's cheap or none of that. I'm just going to say they're going to go where they can afford. And unfortunately, some of the foods that they have out there is the deli meat, because we all know that deli meat is an easy meal to make. It's something that can fill you up because it has high in calories. But why is it high in calories? Because it's mostly processed. It's mostly processed. Your body is going to take in whatever you feed it and use it as energy. Now, the type and quality of the food that you put into your body is going to affect your body composition, which goes right back to the first video I showed y'all with the woman talking about increasing muscle and then cutting the fat. It's because of what you put into your body. Deli meat is one of the things that we know can fill you up, yes, but it also has issues and reported links to Listeria in deli meats purchased from Publix, Aldi, and Walmart. And so this is what I'm saying, y'all. A mostly plant-based diet is not going to hurt y'all. And not, I'm gonna go as far as to say this. I think it'll save a lot of Americans when it comes to the weight issues that is going on in this world. Now, I know what y'all about to say. Well, I can't afford to eat mostly plant-based, blah, 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 blah. No, actually you can. Because let's take Walmart, for example. You don't have to eat the deli meat at Walmart. You can go and get the vegetables. You can go and get the organic vegetables. You can go and get the different type of plant-based meat. Matter of fact, you don't even have to go that far. You can just get a can of chickpeas. These is protein as well. You can go get lentils. These are protein as well. Not only that, these things will fill you up because why? They have a decent percentage of satiety. What is satiety? Satiety is foods that you can eat to make you feel full. Potatoes is actually one of the number one things you can eat to make you feel full, and that adds to your macros. Now, you're supposed to combine that with good vegetables because that's how you get your nutrients. That's also how you get good quality foods to hit your vitals inside of your body so that way you can feel good, feel nourished, and have energy long term. Yes, this is affordable. Why? Because they have it at Walmart, for example. So there is no real excuse. Why? Well, because it doesn't matter where you go. You can find the food that you can eat to benefit you. Listen, I've gained muscle and I've gained weight on being plant-based. I'm a living proof example. I do this every day. I cook every day, but it's easy because of the tools that I have. Invest in the air fryer. Excuse me. Please get one. Please also get an Instapot. Instapots are really good to have. You dig? You can char your vegetables that way. Hell, you can even eat raw vegetables. You don't even have to cook them. You dig? You can eat the raw vegetables and you can eat your fruits. So you can still get your vitamins. You can still get your nutrients that way as well. So there is no real excuses at all. You dig? And so this is what happens. Checking out the comment section, the oils of oregano kills Listeria. Doctors won't tell you this. And these are just some of the things that you can obviously do your research and look this up. Because again, I'm trying to save you guys up if y'all didn't know. The deli meat has the Listeria in it. And I've already told you what Listeria is. It is a bacteria that is known in animal products. All right. So you try to get away from that. You can get onto it with a plant-based diet. Now, I was also sent a video, very, very interesting video about the cigarette companies that are investing in the food companies that you eat, major food companies at that. Maybe you've heard of food companies like Kraft. Maybe you've heard of food companies like General Foods. Maybe you've heard of food companies like Nabisco. These food companies have allowed tobacco firms to dominate the America's food supply. And check this out. They reap billions of dollars in sales from popular brands. I'm talking about top brands, y'all. Well, what examples are you asking for? Let me give them to you. Have you ever heard of Oreo cookies? Guess what? These companies have been dominated and pushed and acquired by tobacco firms. Kraft macaroni and cheese and Lunchables. These things have been pushed into your face by these food companies, but they've also been acquired by cigarette companies like Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds. In the 2000s, now this is not my opinion. You can look this up because it's public knowledge. The tobacco giants spun off their food companies and largely they left the food industry, but not before leaving that legacy in the food that we eat, because the food that we eat, we are known for these big corporate names. See, and this is what y'all go by. Y'all go buy these boxes of foods and all this other stuff. The cigarette makers sold y'all this food in front of y'all. You dig? Because they're pushing a specific lifestyle. They want to find what it is your bliss. All right. And so they're banking off the fact that you get into this food. They're banking off the fact that you live a certain lifestyle so they can make money from the food that you eat and the tobacco that you smoke. And of course, it's not straight tobacco. That's why cigarette companies make this money, to make it cheaper so they can put more stuff in the stuff that you're smoking and the stuff that you're eating and the stuff that you're drinking. Now, here's a video that was sent, and I think it was broken down in a really good point. If you want to switch over to YouTube, you'll be able to see this video as well. So now let me share this video so you guys can see it on my screen. You dig what I'm saying? All right, here we go. Let me pull it up real quick. Boom. There it is. Let's blow it up.
Food industry and the processed food industry was created by the cigarette industry. And I think this is very telling. It's something I learned. So in the 1990s, the two largest food companies in the world were R.J. Reynolds and Philip Morris. What happened is when the Surgeon General way too late in the 1980s said cigarettes were maybe problematic, these were some of the largest companies in the world with the largest cash piles of any company in the world. So what they did is they used their cash piles to buy food companies. We think about the 80s as the Wall Street era M&A, a lot of deals. The two biggest M&A deals up until 1990 in world history were cigarette companies buying food companies. So you had in the 90s, these two cigarette companies very strategically do two things. They shifted their thousands of scientists who were experts at making cigarettes addictive to the food department. So we had the rise of ultra-processed food where our food now is a science experiment. The second thing they did...
Hold on. Did he just say the food is a science experiment? Didn't he say that the same cigarette chemicals that make cigarettes addictive, that same two companies, big, huge cigarette companies, took that same research and figured out a way to put it into the food to make the food just as addictive as the cigarettes? Bruh, they the dope boys. They straight dope selling y'all, and y'all hooked on the food just like y'all hooked on any other drug out here. Man, it's sick out here. So listen, now look at the healthcare system now. Excuse me, not the healthcare system. Let's look at health in America in general. They smoking on addictive things. They're eating on addictive food, the same type of food that makes cigarettes just as addictive. This is something that's pushed out to y'all, and y'all are eating and drinking this stuff and wonder why y'all health the way that it is. It is because y'all are eating and drinking and smoking the same stuff that is making everything addictive. Y'all are taking in the same addictive chemicals into your body and wonder why it's so hard to get off of the stuff and wonder why it's so hard to get into shape. I'm telling y'all, it is real out here. And this is someone who actually worked in some of these companies, so they're actually exposing the truth. Now, I've been telling y'all this for a minute because, again, I've switched my diet, and I've been seeing major health benefits, so it's not just a coincidence. So I haven't gone back. But here's the thing about it. I also have a balance, too. I don't need any of this stuff. I can just straight go plant-based alone, and I've done it for years. And it's a testament to show that I'm not needing to do any of this stuff. I'm not needing these things like y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just keeping it real. So this is why it's important to understand your health. You can't get but so far if you feel like you can't get over a specific hump when it comes to health. It's crazy out here. Comment says there's a TikTok showing how the food pyramid is a scam. Oh, man, the food pyramid is one of the biggest scams. I'm going to tell you how it's the biggest scam. Because they feed it to y'all as kids. We were talked about the food pyramid since I was 5 years old. They try to pump that mess into our brains when we were little children. I broke that thing a long time ago. But to be honest with you, think about the food pyramid. All that stuff is being pumped by the same folks that's putting these chemicals in the food. It's meant to make America fat. Well, yeah, it's meant to be that way because they want everybody to be addicted to food. Think about this. How many commercials have you seen where they've shown food that looked really good and your mouth started watering and you don't even know what it tastes like, but the thought that you think you know what it tastes like because of the last addictive food that you had was like, man, that was so good and it looked similar. So they're tricking y'all psychologically as well to thinking that you need this type of food, and it's hard to get away from it because they are feeding off of you guys' taste buds and the lack and the fact that you would love to eat this addictive foods like the sugar. So they put it in something that makes it look good. So they present it to you to make it look all good, but in actuality, it's poison for you. It's like the devil in the red dress. Just like BBD said, don't trust a big butt and a smile. You dig what I'm saying? You better not trust these hoes out here either. They're going to get you messed up. And don't trust these D-boy, F-boys out here either, because they're going to get you jacked up too. But see, that's a life lesson for you. So my point is this. You have to do your research on what you eat. You have to do your research on what you need to do for yourself. If you out of shape, you already know what you need to do. Look at what you've been eating. If you out of shape, go back and look. I guarantee you've been probably eating that same apple pie and them blondies from Applebee's, and you've been eating that what's it called? You've been eating them Oreo cookies, eating that macaroni and cheese with all the extra fat and sugars and cheese and all this addictive stuff, and you can't get off of it because it tastes so good. Y'all so worried about taste, you're almost really getting into gluttony, and that's something that the Bible talks about. That's actually a real sin. It's a gluttony. Y'all should not be eating this much. And y'all are making yourselves eat that much because you think you need it, because you think you are addicted to the food, and to be actual, you probably are, and this is why you need to get off of it. The best way to do that is to admit you have a problem. You have to admit you are eating too much food. You need to stop eating all this food. Get onto a food list, which is something that I do. I'll give you a food list because it's something that I actually live by. And if it's not on the list, don't eat it. If it's not on the list, you can't eat it. So you're not tempted to go out, and even if someone says, "Oh, look at this pretty pie. Look at all this pretty sugars and addiction," you can give them the hand and say, "Nah, that's not what Cobe told me to eat, because I got a food list that he gave me. So I'm sticking to what he want me to eat, because where he's taking me is to salvation, because I'm investing in my health." See, these companies and corporations clearly don't care about the health. Why? Because the cigarette companies understand that they are making addictions into the cigarettes to keep you hooked. So they bought the food companies to put the same research to making the food that is addictive, just like the cigarettes is. So they know already, and you know publicly, that they don't care about your health at all. But Cobe does, because I see a big problem. I see a lot of people who don't have a lot of money. I see a lot of people who have a sluggish mentality. I see a lot of people who are out of shape, and I see a lot of people who don't think clear. When I changed my diet up, I was able to think better. I was able to breathe better. I wasn't even out of shape, and I still was able to breathe better, all because I changed my diet. I was able to taste food differently just because I changed my diet. You would not know this until you actually do it. Detox yourself for a while. Everybody talks about, oh, you got to detox. You got to, meditate and read a book and all this stuff, but y'all still eating that same addictive foods. Absolutely not. That's trash. Switch up the mentality. Eat right. Get you some fruits and vegetables. Get that mostly under control. Once you get that under control, you can now filter yourself. There are foods and herbs that you can take for your brain health. Same thing with your internal organs, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys. Drink you some water. You dig what I'm saying? Get you some spring water. Drink enough water, at least a gallon a day. Get you some sunlight. You go walk at least 2 miles a day, minimum. Work out every day. This is the bare minimum, y'all. And I can tell that most of the country's not doing it because a lot of them are overweight. So if y'all did what y'all needed to do, just like you brush your teeth every day, because you don't want to lose your teeth and be walking around snaggletooth, looking like yuck mouth. You don't want to be looking like yuck mouth. You ever try to go on a date with somebody and they got them yuck mouth look? You like, bruh, nah. Or like, shorty, nah. Shorty, nah. I can't do that, because now if I take you serious, I'll bring you around the family. They gonna clown. They gonna be like, bro, look at this bird you done bought. Y'all know what I'm talking about because y'all the ones picking on them too. Fellas, y'all already know what's going on. Listen, get yourself right. Same thing with your mental health. Don't bring no crazy birds around. And ladies, don't bring no crazy homies around. Don't be bringing no crazy dudes around. Have that mentality check. Eat the right foods. Detox yourself. You can be aware of this thing. Now, getting on to the main topic of what is going on with the presidential candidates' healthcare policies. All right. So let's talk about Donald Trump's healthcare policies. We're going to get to Kamala's too. So Donald Trump's healthcare policies, and this is just, I'm going to go down the facts of just the, some of the top things that he's talking about. Some of the main things he's talking about is expanding access to health savings accounts, which is actually something that I'm invested in. Trump supports the expanding HSAs. And what an HSA pretty much is a card that you use to participate in any type of health. It's not a debit card that you pay for anything. You have a list of things you pay for your health that if you work for a company, they can help invest you in this company, and they can take a percentage of your check, automatically transfer it over so that you can go and get, your health care and health pretty much taken care of. It does co-pays and all these other things. It's actually a really good thing, which allows individuals to save money tax-free for medical expenses. Also, Trump proposed increasing contribution limits, which make it easier for people to use these accounts for a broader range of health services, which is actually amazing. What's going on, Kristen? And another thing that he's also doing is lowering the drug prices when you're going to like CVS, your Walmarts, and things like that. So what he's done is he pursued various initiatives to lower these prescription drugs prices, which includes the measures to increase transparency in drug pricing, allowing the importance of cheaper drugs from other countries and facilitating for generic use, which does make the prices cheaper and can make them cheaper if you need to get said medicine. Also, he focuses on deregulation. So what he does is he emphasizes reducing regulations on healthcare providers. And also what he does, he ensures aiming to lower the cost and increasing the competition, which also includes easing rules on the telemedicine and allowing more flexibility for insurances to make those offers. And that's something that the future is coming to. And I'm gonna give you an example of what Amazon did. Amazon has something called Amazon Healthcare. You pay $10 a month for your Amazon Prime member, and you can get telehealth care for 24 hours. Why? Because it's telehealth. And this is something I actually did a post about, if you follow my IG on King Alajuwan 21, on Amazon getting into healthcare. Not only that, but they are a tech company. Now those, and of course he's doing a lot more. I'm just giving just a base scenario of what Trump is doing, and I'm also giving a base scenario of what Kamala's doing. So Kamala, what she's doing is she's looking for Medicare for all. Well, Kamala is initially supporting Medicare for all. Her proposal for a excuse me, I got a phone call coming in. Let me boom. Now, what Kamala is doing is she's proposing a single payer healthcare system that would provide universal coverage through a government-run program, which in the plan would eliminate the private insurance for most services and offer comprehensive benefits that's paid for the government. Now, she also is on board with lowering prescription drug prices as well. So I think her and Trump kind of agree onto that. Another thing that she's into is strengthening the healthcare infrastructure. And she proposes that investments in healthcare infrastructure, including expanding access to care in underserviced areas, which is urban communities and those sorts, and improving the support for the primary care providers, right? So these are some of the things that they are contributing in when it comes to healthcare. Now, you can vote for whoever you like. This isn't a thing where I'm an advocate for one, for both, whatever. I'm giving some facts from both people. So, and I'm gonna tell you why, because most people don't necessarily understand what each one is trying to contribute into the healthcare system. What's going on, Kales? So you can vote for Kamala, you can vote for Trump, but I want you to know why you're voting for him. And from a healthcare perspective, understand the policies that's going to go into effect when it comes to the presidential candidates, because it's going to trickle down to us normal people, whatever they bit or whatever they start to implement as far as policy. They both have some same benefits. They also have some things where they differ. What's going on, family? And it's all facts. And I'm trying to get people to understand that you should go out and vote, and you should do it for the right reasons. I don't care if you voting for someone you like or you dislike. I don't even care about none of that stuff. I care about what is this person going to implement to help out my community? What is this person going to implement that's going to affect us long term? And the only thing that you can go off of is what's on the books. When that policy says they're going to do something, that's what they're going to apply by, because this is what is being paid for. This is what lobbyists do. Lobbyists lobby for things to be done by the presidency, so they are investing in the president to be in office based on the things that they lobby for. Anybody can lobby. Y'all right here in the chat, y'all can lobby for things too. It's going to take money. So money is power. So if we can bring our resources together, we can also lobby for things that we need done in our community. Here in North Carolina, this is what we're doing now. They've done and they've exceeded and had a grant that's been pushed out to healthcare systems here, actually in Charlotte, Mecklenburg County. Now, these are things that we can do. We can bring it together, but we all have to come to agreement of some sort so we can be on the same page. I see an issue when it comes to healthcare. Why? Because a lot of us are overweight. And one thing that I'm doing to help out is to push out a specific way of living. And that's just what I do specifically. And I do mostly plant-based. I work out every day. I specifically train in strength training as well. Excuse me. Because I understand that we're having not only an overweight issue, we are also having an issue with low muscle mass, which also brings more issues to the body as we live our daily life. Kel said they said they going to do it, but they don't. They still have to go to the house first. And see, this is why, and I'm glad you said that, bro. I don't believe a word they say. You know, when they go on these little rants and they go on these, these campaign trails and yada, 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 man, they ain't doing nothing but trying to get y'all's attention so they can look and y'all can see them and see how cool they are. If you identify with them, you know what I'm saying? That's really what that is. Listen, I don't get carried up by none of that mess. I don't care what you look like. Trump can come out looking like 50 Cent from a thug. He ain't gonna get my vote unless his policy says and does the things that I'm looking for. Kamala can be as black as she want to. She can go get a weave done and got a middle bust down. I ain't gonna vote for her unless that policy says that she's gonna do something great for the community that I don't see coming in anytime soon. I don't care what you look like. And quite frankly, I can't stand a bust down, but there's some people that do that. Quite frankly, I don't want to see Trump coming out no bulletproof vest on. I don't care. I could care less, to be honest with you. Them little antics that everybody else care about, they can care about it. But see, that's how they trick y'all. They trick y'all because they know what's going to get y'all riled up. Kamala going to have Meg Thee Stallion twerking at a darn convention just to try to get y'all some looks. That ain't going to get my vote. I don't care about none of that stuff. That's bull. That's stuff for kids and that's stuff for the young adults. Nah, when it comes to these adults, I care about them rules. I care about them policies. What them lobbyists putting that money up for to push out to the world, because this is what's going to happen. And these are things that's in the books, that's in the fine print that we miss. And so I'm trying to be the one to say, don't get fooled by this bullshit going on. Don't get fooled by all that mess that they talk about. We have to understand what they implement, bro, policy. The policy is what they going to do. When they say, let's say I'm a Kales, let's say me and you lobby for something in the White House to be done. And let's say we want, it could be anybody that's going in for the presidency can. Let's say we did it for Trump. Trump, we're going to put up $1 million and we want you in the office, but I need y'all to put this law into place that says we need to put a sugar tax on everything in the states. And I want you to do that shit right now. So what Trump does, whenever he goes and signs that, he'll sign it off, he'll put into the policy and make sure it gets done. That's what I care about. I care about where the money goes, and that's where everything is going to go off of. That's what they start to do. You want something done? Put the money up. Real boss talk. I don't care what they talk about. Where that bread at? You put that bread up, oh, you best believe, homie, they gonna get something done. And that's with any business alone. Anybody can do business with you. Until that bread talk, they ain't nothing but talk, bro. It's nothing but talk. When they got that cash out and they say, give me that, give me everything right here for this much. Now we talking. You get whatever you want. Why? Because you got that bread. You got that bread. You can make deals because you got bread in your favor just because you got the money up front and you let your money speak for you. You know that already because you're an entrepreneur. I'm talking about the same stuff too because I get it. So my thing is when it comes to the presidency, I'm not fooled by all these antics. I don't care about all this antics and this showboating. Nah. Where that bread? Where the money going? Who's lobbying for things to be done in America? And that is what's going to be implemented because their policy says so. So they put in the policy, they do it. This is what they're advocating for. This is what they do. That's what I'm going to vote on. That's what I'm going to vote on. And we got to do our research on what exactly these policies are going to do and how they're going to affect us long term. What's going on, Nick? If we don't understand what these policies are going to do, they are going to put something in the policy that's going to affect you long term that you didn't even think about. So I'm a proactive thinker. I'm going to look at all these policies and how they're going to affect us. I'm going to give you an example. So Trump is supporting expanding HSAs, right? I think it's a good thing because this is something that is coming from our own money. If we're already getting paid, HSA is a tool that can be used by companies that will allow for workers like me and you, anybody who's on a W-2, that can pay for their own health care that comes out of their check automatically so they don't even see it. So you can automatically get your own health care that way, and it lowers the healthcare prices for companies to pay for. So why is that important? Because now they can put more money into the businesses and more bonuses for everybody else. So not only would you get a good check, you can also get bonuses down the line because they're saving money on healthcare because of the implementation of an HSA. You see what I'm saying? We have to break things down from a perspective of a business person. So if you look at policies, look at how it's going to affect businesses. Look at how it's going to affect the nation that we live in long term and across the board. I'm going to give you another example. So Kamala is implementing for Medicare for all. Let's look up Medicare. What is Medicare, right? And I'm just doing a Google search just for the people because people may not necessarily know this. It's a fee for service health insurance that has two parts, A and B. You typically pay for the portion of the cost covered in services that you get them. All right. In simple terms, it's federal health insurance for anyone age of 65 or older, and some people under 65 with certain disabilities and conditions. Medicaid is a joint federal and state program that provides health coverage for some people with limited income and resources. So what this means is, where's the money going to come from? Everything has to come from money. So it's going to have to come from the federal government's pockets. All right. She's aiming for this specifically. And what she's proposing is for a single payer. So that means one entity paying for a healthcare system that would provide universal coverage through a government-run program, which means the money is going to come from the government, which means it's going to come from our tax money, because that's how the government gets paid, by our own taxes. This plan would eliminate the private insurance, which is what she's advocating for most services, and offer comprehensive benefits, which is going to cost more money, which could possibly raise our own taxes and not necessarily know it because we may not feel the heat now, but it could come later. So you have to look at things from that perspective. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, right? I'm just teaching and I'm explaining to you what can happen if these things come into play. Shout out to my man, Mans, man. You already know when we breaking stuff down. We breaking it down. You dig? And so this is something that I'm telling you guys because we understand that the presidential candidacy is here. We have to know where and what people are voting for and understand that we don't necessarily care about the antics. We care about what the president is going to do based on what the policy says and what they said they're going to do. And we also have to trust their character. All right. We have to look at it across the board. That's long story short. I done went over so much with y'all. You dig? And I got a lot to break down. But guess what? We got to get up out of here, man. I done ran it for a long time. You dig? Y'all got y'all lives to go through. And I got a lot more work to do. You feel me? I got some food to eat. And I got some things to do. You dig what I'm saying? So I want to give a shout out to everybody that joined in. Shout out to the risers. Shout out to my man Kale. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Steva. You dig? Shout out to my Charmaine. Shout out to Mia. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Liam. Hey man, we out here cooking. Shout out to my cousin O'Rye. Man, listen, man. We'll get up out of here. Shout out to my cousin Chris in the building. You feel me? We rocking strong. We're faced with an obstacle. You know, we rise, baby. We getting up out of here. Make sure you guys can follow me at King Alajuwan 21 on IG. You can also follow me on Facebook at Rise and Rise Academy. And I'm also going to be showing you guys how I'm gaining weight with this diet. Okay. Right now, I'm going to do a video. If you guys check it out, go over that. So I want you guys to come in and watch and see exactly what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So that way you can learn something. Because again, saving your health is going to help you benefit across the board, right? If you have great health, you're able to work better, you're able to think better, you're able to do better. Okay. If you're an entrepreneur, you need to be in the healthcare. You need to understand that your fitness is going to enable you to work and outwork your competition. If you want to be a competitor, you got to be in fit shape, thinking shape, get some well rested shape. All right, be in shape across the board. Your money gonna be in shape. You want to be in shape, and your money better be in shape because you want your money to work for you. So if you want your money to work faster, make sure your money lift the weights, baby. It's your boy Cobe Rise and Rise, man. We about this thing, y'all. Peace.